Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered about the origin and meaning of the phrase reading people? In this video, we'll explore where this common expression came from and why it's used to describe the ability to understand people and their emotions. So what does the term reading people actually mean? It means understanding people's emotions, intentions, and motivations by observing their behavior and body language. For example, if someone crosses their arms and looks away during a conversation, you might think that they're not interested in what you're saying. Or if someone smiles and nods while maintaining eye contact, you might think that they're engaged and enjoying the conversation. These are just a few examples of how people read others. Now let's take a look at some of the most effective ways to read others. Effective ways to read others. Number 1. Observe body language. Body language is a powerful way to communicate, and it can tell you a lot about how someone is feeling even when they're not saying anything. Here's what to look out for. Gestures. The way people use their hands and arms can tell you a lot about how they're feeling. For example, if someone keeps their arms crossed and doesn't use their hands when they talk, they may feel uncomfortable or closed off. On the other hand, if someone uses their hands a lot when they talk, they may be excited or passionate about what they're saying. Facial expressions. People's faces are full of expressions that can tell you how they're feeling. If someone smiles a lot when they talk to you, they may like you or enjoy talking to you. If someone frowns, they may be unhappy or not understand what you're saying. Posture. The way people stand and sit tells you a lot about their confidence and how they feel. If someone stands up straight with their shoulders back, they may feel confident and strong. If someone slouches, they may feel tired, shy, or bored. Eye contact. Maintaining eye contact shows that you're paying attention and are interested in what the person is saying. Avoiding eye contact can mean that the person is being rude, is uncomfortable, or doesn't trust you. Remember that body language can be subjective and vary across cultures. So pay attention to the specific behaviors and how they make you feel. Then try to put yourself in the other person's shoes to better understand their perspective. Number 2, analyze voice and speaking speed. The way someone says things can tell you as much as what they're actually saying. Here's what to listen for. Tone. How someone says something can convey their attitude and emotions. For example, if someone asks you a question with a sharp tone, they may be angry or annoyed. If someone says something in a soft voice, they may be feeling timid or insecure. Pitch. The high or low sound of someone's voice can tell you how they feel. If someone's voice is higher, they may be nervous or excited. If their voice is lower, they may be calm or bored. Speaking speed. How quickly someone talks can tell you how they feel. If someone talks fast, they may be excited or have a lot to say. If someone speaks slowly, they may be thinking carefully about what they say or feel tired. By paying attention to the tone, pitch, and speaking speed, you can get a sense of how someone is feeling, even if they're trying to hide it. For example, if someone's voice is shaking and their words are coming out fast, they may be feeling nervous or anxious. Number 3, combine context with behavior. To really understand people, it's important to consider what's happening around them, as actions can mean different things in different situations. For example, if someone laughs during a funeral, we might think they're being disrespectful. But if they're sharing a funny story about the deceased person, it makes more sense. If you're trying to read someone, consider the situation and what could be influencing their behavior. For example, if someone seems angry, consider if they might be reacting to something that happened before you arrived. Number 4, use active listening skills. To read someone effectively, it's essential to listen actively to what they're saying. This involves giving them your full attention, reflecting back what you hear, and asking clarifying questions. By doing so, you'll gain a deeper understanding of their words and any hidden meanings behind them. Active listening also shows respect and builds trust, which can make the person more open and willing to share. So when you want to read someone, make sure to listen carefully to what they're saying. Reflect back on their words and ask questions to clarify any doubts. By doing so, you'll be able to truly understand what they're telling you and get a better sense of their thoughts and feelings. How to train your ability to read people. As with any skill, the ability to read people improves with practice. Here are 2 ways to get better at reading people. Number 1, practice observing in daily life. Start by observing people in everyday settings like a park, coffee shop, or during social events. Pay attention to their body language, tone of voice, and what they say. For example, notice how someone sits, stands, or uses their hands when talking. Also observe how their face changes when they talk and listen. As you become more aware of these subtle cues, you'll begin to sense how people might be feeling, even if they don't show it. You can also practice reading fictional characters in books or movies. By analyzing their dialogue and actions, you can better understand their motivations and relationships with other characters. This can help you develop your people reading skills in a fun and engaging way. Number 2, keep a journal of impressions and verifications. To improve your ability to read people, keep a journal of your impressions and later verify them. Write down your observations about people's behavior and then try to guess why they might be acting that way. After your interaction, reflect on whether your assumptions were correct and consider why or why not. By keeping track of your observations and reflecting on them afterward, you can start to see patterns in people's behavior and better understand what drives their actions. Reading people is a phrase that comes from the world of literature. In the early days of bookselling, when people would go to a bookstore to buy a book, they wouldn't know which one to pick. So booksellers would stand at a table outside the store and read a passage from a book to passers-by. If the passage was interesting, people would stop and listen. And if enough people showed interest, the bookseller would sell the book. This practice was called reading to an audience. Over time, the phrase evolved to reading people, which means understanding their emotions and intentions by observing their behavior. The concept of reading people is an essential part of human interaction. From an early age, we learn to read the facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice of those around us to better understand their thoughts and feelings. As we grow older, our ability to read people becomes increasingly important in our personal and professional lives. Being able to read people well can help us build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and navigate social situations more easily. However, in today's world, many people struggle to read people effectively. We may be so focused on our own thoughts and feelings that we forget to pay attention to the people around us. Or we may have difficulty interpreting the subtle cues that indicate how someone is feeling. Fortunately, the ability to read people is a skill that can be learned and improved with practice. By paying attention to the things people say and do, and by considering the emotions that may be driving their behavior, we can better understand those around us and build stronger relationships. Thank you for watching. Until next time.